Let's get one thing straight from the very beginning. Who owns our children? The answer is blindingly obvious, yet it seems to need repeating. Children belong to their parents. They are not the property of the state, nor are they guinea pigs for the latest educational fads dreamed up by teachers. This isn't a controversial opinion, it's a fundamental truth of human society. The bond between a parent and child is the primary, most powerful, and most important relationship there is. It is forged in love, sacrifice, and a deep instinctual drive to protect one's own. For any government or school to think they can usurp this role is not just arrogant, it's dangerous. The modern trend of so-called experts trying to sideline parents is frankly outrageous. We see it everywhere. Bureaucrats in distant offices and teachers with their own agendas start to believe they know better. They think their degrees and training manuals give them a superior insight into a child's needs. What complete and utter nonsense. A parent's knowledge isn't learned from a textbook, it's earned through sleepless nights, endless worry, and the day-in, day-out reality of raising a human being. They know their child's fears, their dreams, their quirks, and their unique character in a way no outsider ever could. This idea that the state is the ultimate guardian is a slippery slope to a nightmare. It treats families not as the bedrock of society, but as an obstacle to be managed. It suggests that parents are merely temporary custodians, who can be overruled whenever the state decides it knows best. This is an inversion of the natural order. Parents are the ones who bring children into this world. They are the ones who feed them, clothe them, and sit with them when they are sick. To suggest their authority is secondary is an insult to every mother and father who pours their heart and soul into raising their family. We must be crystal clear about this boundary. The role of the state and its institutions, including schools, is to serve families, not to command them. They are there to provide support, resources, and a safe environment for learning. But the moment they cross the line and start dictating how parents should raise their children, they have failed. The fundamental rights and responsibilities of parenthood are not negotiable. They are not granted by the government, and therefore, they cannot be taken away by it. This is the cornerstone of a free and healthy society, and we forget it at our peril. No teacher, no matter how dedicated, can ever truly comprehend the depth of parental sacrifice. Think about it. A parent's job doesn't end when a school bell rings. It's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week commitment that starts at birth and never, ever stops. It's the father working 2 jobs to make sure there's food on the table and a roof over his family's head. It's the mother who puts her career on hold, sacrificing her own ambitions to be there for every scraped knee, every school play, and every difficult conversation. These are not small things. They are monumental acts of love. This relentless dedication builds an unbreakable bond and an unparalleled understanding. A parent knows the meaning of every sigh, every glance, and every change in tone from their child. They can tell when their child is genuinely ill and when they are just trying to get out of doing their homework. They know what foods their child loves and which ones they despise. This intimate knowledge is built over years of shared experiences, laughter, and tears. A teacher, who has 20 or 30 other children to worry about, simply cannot compete with that level of personal insight. To ignore this reality is to devalue the very essence of family. When a school or a government official dismisses a parent's concern, they are dismissing all of this lived experience. They are saying that the years of sacrifice, the sleepless nights, and the constant worry count for nothing. It's an infuriating display of bureaucratic arrogance. Parents aren't just stakeholders in their child's education. They are the primary investors. They have invested their time, their money, their emotions, and their entire lives into their children. Their voice should therefore be the loudest one in the room, not a whisper to be ignored. The presumption that a stranger in a classroom knows what's best for a child is absurd. These sacrifices matter profoundly. They give parents the moral authority to be the ultimate decision-makers for their own flesh and blood. They are the ones who will be there long after the teachers have changed and the school years have passed. They will celebrate their child's triumphs and comfort them in their failures. This enduring commitment is why their rights must be protected above all others. It's not about power, it's about love, responsibility, and the natural order of things. Nowhere is this overreach clearer than in some of the ridiculous rules we see enforced in schools today. Take the simple basic human need to use the bathroom. I've heard countless stories of children being denied permission to go to the toilet during class time. Teachers, obsessed with control or worried about pupils loitering, enforce rigid, one-size-fits-all policies. A child who genuinely needs to go is told to wait, sometimes for an hour or more. This isn't just unfair, it's downright cruel, and can be physically harmful. It teaches a child that their basic needs don't matter, and that their own body signals should be ignored in favor of arbitrary rules. What kind of lesson is that? It's a lesson in power, not education. It tells a child that the system, in the form of the teacher, has total control over their body. For a young child, this can be incredibly distressing and humiliating. It can lead to accidents, embarrassment, and even medical issues like urinary tract infections. A parent would never inflict this kind of needless suffering on their child. They would listen, they would understand, and they would respond with compassion. Yet some schools have become so rigid and bureaucratic that this basic human decency is lost. This is a perfect example of what happens when institutions forget their purpose. Schools are supposed to be places of learning and growth, not mini prisons where basic dignities are stripped away. When a teacher tells a child they can't use the bathroom, they are placing the convenience of their lesson plan above the well-being of a human being. It shows a staggering lack of empathy and common sense. It's a power trip, plain and simple, and it's the kind of decision that no parent, in their right mind, would ever make for their own child. This isn't just about bathrooms, of course. It's a symptom of a much larger problem. It's about schools forgetting that they are dealing with children, not cogs in a machine. They are dealing with individuals who have needs, feelings, and parents who know them best. Strict, inflexible rules that ignore individual circumstances are a hallmark of an institution that has lost its way. It's a clear sign that the balance has shifted too far away from the family and towards a cold, impersonal system that believes it knows better. And that is simply unacceptable. The role of the government and schools should be simple: to support families, not to replace them. They should be partners, not patriarchs. Their job is to provide the tools and the safe environment for children to flourish, based on the values and guidance provided by their parents. This means offering a solid education in core subjects like maths, science, and literature. It means ensuring school buildings are safe and well maintained. It means providing resources for children who need extra help. It is a supportive role, an auxiliary function. It is not and should never be a primary one. Yet too often we see the state failing in its basic duties while simultaneously trying to interfere in family life. Look at the scandal of school meals in some places. We've seen pictures of pathetic, inadequate lunches served to children. A few scraps of food that are an insult to the word meal. The government, which takes taxpayers' money to provide these services, fails to deliver on this fundamental promise. How can an institution that can't even guarantee a decent lunch for a child claim it has the wisdom to override a parent's judgment on more complex moral and personal issues? It's a complete joke. The focus must shift. Instead of trying to control families, the government and schools should concentrate on doing their own jobs properly, provide excellent teaching, ensure children are safe from bullying, serve nutritious food, offer real support for children with special needs. These are the things that genuinely help families and children. This is where their energy and our money should be going. Interfering in the parent-child relationship is a distraction from their own failures. It's an attempt to grab power they haven't earned and don't deserve, often to mask their own incompetence in the areas they are actually responsible for. Ultimately, this is a call for respect. Respect for parents, respect for the family as the most important unit in society, and respect for the rights of mothers and fathers to raise their children according to their own conscience and values. We need a system that empowers parents, that listens to them, and that sees them as the essential partners they are. The state's job is to clear the path for families to succeed, not to stand in their way, telling them which way to go. It's time to put parents back in the driver's seat, where they have always belonged.